Hi, I'm Charlie Rhodes,
I'm
and
Kayson Marler.
we're here to discuss how workplace practices can impact family outcomes. Um, we're working for SHRM. So SHRM is one of the leading HR management kind of groups within the United States and the world. They have 325,000 members that are HR professionals, and they're in 165 countries around the world. Their goal is to basically help push the work of HR forward. Their stated mission at the bottom is building better workplaces where employers and employees can thrive together. And so our goal is to help help SHRM in this effort. In so doing, we found that workplace practices are harming employee satisfaction and harming their family outcomes. And so we see that 43% of working Americans say their job interferes with family life. And this is a significant number. Additionally, we found that certain industries seem to be having it worse than others, with industries like transportation and warehousing, as well as real estate, having really high unhappy marriage rates compared with some others. And so our goal is to figure out which workplace practices drive these negative outcomes and give suggestions on how SHRM can help members change them. One thing that has kind of inspired this work is Clayton Christensen's idea of what a good manager is. He talked about how it's not necessarily those who can understand data and understand the best like business and financial practices, but it's those who can inspire the best people. And so to kind of test this assumption that workplace managers can have an impact on family outcomes, we wanted to first see that managers have significant impact on family outcomes. And number two, we wanted to see how better family outcomes improve actual workplace performance. And number three, we wanted to look at two specific actions managers can take. Number one is to provide a high level of job support. And number two is to allow employees to get time off for family matters.
So first, looking at managers' impact on family outcomes. This is divorce rates. We know this is a bit drastic, but what you'll notice here is that the more supported that people are, the more likely they are to stay in their marriage and the less likely they are to be divorced. Now, we did a Kramer's V test and found this effect size to be small, but still with a p-value that indicates that it is significant. Shifting to something a bit lighter, it also seems that managers have an impact on marital happiness. And so you'll see here on the bar graph that for individuals that have the highest level of manager supports, they're also the most likely, or on average, they give the highest levels of marital happiness. We found that this variation actually accounts for about, or the difference in manager support actually accounts for about 1.3% of the variation in marital happiness. So small, but again, quite significant. So we now want to shift to why should companies care? How does family outcomes actually improve workplace performance? Well, what I want to highlight here is just that of the group that are very satisfied with their work, it's more likely that they're very happy in their marriage. So said the reverse way, the happier they are in their marriage, the more likely they are to be very satisfied with their work. And this satisfaction is important because it has implications for retention, work engagement, etc.
Yeah, critical to this too is we found that people that are very happy in their marriages actually earn more. And this likely indicates that they're more productive as well. And obviously, it's kind of impossible to see which one is like the chicken and egg type problem, but we see that there's a strong correlation here that people who are in very happy marriages actually have about a 10K increase from those that are not too happy, meaning a 5K increase for every degree of happiness in marriage. And so helping people get to this stage is critical for managers in this generation.
So now we want to take a look at what can managers actually do. So we ran a 5-variable linear regression model to basically identify like what things are in managers' control. What we found is manager support and family time off are actually way stronger predictors in job satisfaction than hours worked or income. To us, this shows where managers might turn their efforts as they look to improve job satisfaction. Additionally, we just want to note that this might represent a turn in focus from where they've normally focused.
Okay, and just kind of building on this idea, we found that of those that are very satisfied workers, getting time off for family matters has proven to be not at all hard, with around 50% of them stating that. And you see that going down. What this is really telling us is that again, reinforcing that idea, managers can allow time off for family matters, for maternity leave, paternity leave, emergencies, and that's significantly impacting, at least there's a strong correlation of that with the very satisfied workers.
The second action that we wanted to explore is just the level of general manager support for the employee. And actually over 90% of very satisfied employees said that their boss really supports them, while only 50% of very dissatisfied employees agree with that statement.
Yeah, so kind of coming out of this, we've learned that it does impact family outcomes, and we should be aware of this, and managers should be aware of this. But also, we've seen the flip side. Family outcomes can also have an impact on workplace performance. And by focusing on both, you're creating a really nice virtuous cycle for both. And lastly, we found that the data suggests that if employees will give employees time off for family matters and support them in all of their endeavors, both at home and at work, that you can see these significant increases. So we're excited to share this with Sherm and excited with what you do with it.
Thank you.